Hi everyone, Alex here. I'm going to walk you through how to both drain your 80-gallon hot water heater and how to check and possibly replace the anode rod that is called the sacrificial rod of the water heater. And the reason you do this is to ensure that the water heater is protected and corrosive materials in the water are not eating away at the housing and interior components of the water heater. And the anode tube, in this case, in our particular water heater, is made out of magnesium. And it needs to be checked, per the manual here, from Bradford White, every year if you have softened water, which we do. Otherwise, 3 to 5 years. Most people don't even check it. It's an $18 part. This is what it looks like. And as you can see, it's about 3.5 or so feet. And it's really important, but really simple. And again, nobody really checks it. What do you do 10, 12 years after you've had your water heater? You have a leak, or you have something go wrong with it. A guy, plumber, comes in and he says, yeah, it's about time you need a new water heater. It's been about 10, 12 years. And a lot of that can be avoided by an $18 part that you periodically check. So I'm going to check mine. I've been here in the community for 2 years, and there may not be anything wrong with it. I may pull it out and it's good to go. But we're going to see. Some of the other community members have been here for longer, 3 years, almost 4 years, and so this may be a good litmus test to see what's going on with the effects of the conditioned water on this magnesium tube, again, which is supposed to be pitted and disintegrated. It's supposed to take the brunt of the effects, not the walls of the water tank. So I'm going to go through a list of parts, which the tube, of course, and other supplies and the tools. Again, it's all listed here in the Bradford White manual. And just for making sure that we're all on the same page, the 80-gallon hot water heater is an aerotherm hot water heater. It was manufactured in 2016 and it was discontinued in 2018. So they have other models. So trying to find the parts and replacement pieces and components may be a little difficult. But the model number is RE2H80T, and that can be found on the label on the side of the hot water heater. So it's pretty straightforward. I have the manual. I'll post the manual along with the video link and so forth So at this time, what I want to do is walk you through what tools and what supplies are needed to check and ultimately replace the anode tube. Okay, so some of the basic tools that you'll need for this include a bucket to collect up a couple gallons of water that you'll drain off, a socket wrench, extension, and socket. The socket is a 1 1/16 inch standard. Some plumber's tape there in the blue donut, and then a screwdriver with 2 bits, one being a T20, a torque size 20, and just a flat tip screwdriver head. And then the sealant for the threading that you'll apply to the new anode rod. And then down here is the anode rod itself. Okay. Oh yeah, and the garden hose, so that you'll need a small garden hose so that you can drain some of that excess water from the tank. So before we get started, a couple things that you need to do before you start messing around with draining water or removing the lid, which we're going to do here shortly. And that's to go turn off the power. Just for safety purposes, I turn off the power at the breaker, It should be labeled 230 amp breakers, and I trip those, and then I go out to the disconnect box and I remove the terminal connector, and this is what it looks like. So pull that out. Now your power's off. I've gone ahead and turned off the water. The water is now in the closed position. If the water was still on, it would be in line with the pipes, and that goes true for any of your water conditioning systems. If you observe that the the nozzle or the valve is in line or perpendicular, that means something, closed or open. The next thing that you'll be doing is attaching a garden hose to the lower spigot. That's where the water will drain out, and again, I will be draining a couple gallons of water per the manual before I go ahead and pull the anode tube. In terms of draining your tank, I drained out already about 25 gallons. I didn't completely drain it, but it's the same process that I'll be doing here with just a couple gallons. Okay, so here we are on top of the water heater, and you can see this portion of the water heater is actually a filter, and I left the filter dirty so that you can see what a dirty filter looks like. So that just needs to be cleaned, blown. It could even be washed using lukewarm water, and then of course the grill here needs to be washed as well. So in this phase, I've moved these color coordinated caps. This just tells you which is hot, which is cold. I've moved them up, and then I'm going to use the torque bit to remove those four retaining pins, and then pull this entire cover and grill off so that it will expose where the anode tube and the other components are. So now that the cover is off, now we'll look for the anode tube, and the anode tube is located right there. So I'll use my wrench, socket wrench and socket, to begin removing that from the unit. Let's take a look.